Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to F1 on FTRL. We are at week 3 of season 16, and we are here at Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix. Joining me in comments as ever is Mr. Max Deff. Good evening, Max.
Good evening, Lee. How are you guys doing?
I'm very well, very well. Yourself?
I'm very good. I can finally make it and not being listening in my car during quali, so pretty excited.
Well, I think it's quite fitting that we're here at Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix this weekend. Of course, we're very saddened to lose the voice of Formula One, Mr. Murray Walker, who sadly passed away this weekend, just past. He's 97. What an innings from him. And for myself, when I first got into Formula One in 1992 during the Mansell Mania season, he of course was the main man on the commentary as well as the British Touring Car. So as I sort of became an avid motorsports fan, most of it I was guided through by Murray Walker. So very sad to lose such a charismatic thing. I think he was the ultimate Formula One. He's the ultimate motor racing fan more than anything. He used to do so much. He used to previously comment on bike racing. He did rallycross as well. And I think he was just the most passionate fan. And I think as a commentator on esports, I think it's something everybody could aspire to, just that level of passion about it. So hopefully the boys will put on a race worthy that Murray would have enjoyed to watch, and we'll try and slip in as many Murrayisms as we can tonight.
100%.
Here we are then. So Silverstone, the British Grand Prix, of course home of the first ever official Formula One race. How do you like the circuit, Max? Is it one you enjoy? What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I've been practicing quite a lot, but not as much as my laps at Austria. You get to meet quite few heavy high-speed corners that are pretty easy to actually invalidate or get some penalties on. So guys are gonna have to stay on track, well controlled. So it's gonna be a nice race, I think, to see.
Yeah, very much so. I think Silverstone has produced some absolutely outstanding races over the seasons that I've been in FTRL and even previously as well. So this is bound to be some great racing tonight. Of course, coming off the back of round 2, which was at the Red Bull Ring, and the man on screen currently, Tico, was the man who walked away with the dub last time out. So a big slide there as he comes out of Luffield. So he's pushing hard on this opening salvo. So he is the current championship leader then, after a second place in round 1, pole position and the win last time out. Means that Tico sitting very pretty at the top of the championship, then coming into round 3. How is he going to get on tonight? He's gone well here in the past previously, so expect good things from him tonight. Then just a little bit of housekeeping to do. We've got a new addition to the grid in the McLaren there, Uncle Ben's Rice. What a brilliant name that is. He is in the McLaren. He has replaced on a full-time basis Callboy, who is actually racing tonight. He's filling in for Ox, who unfortunately isn't with us. And we've got Yarne back in the Ferrari, and of course his teammate Funky Chicken, who had a very good drive last time out on debut, didn't he? P6. Excited to see how he gets on again this week.
Tico goes 124.1 to start off.
Quite lap out of the box. Adamako drops into 24.7 just behind him. So have we got anybody coming around? CR7 has retired from the session. Has he crashed? He has. He's crashed coming out of Copse Corner. So Copse Corner has caught out a driver already, and CR7, who put it on the front row last week, and he is out of qualifying, and he's going to be starting, stone dead last as it stands. So not the start he wanted.
Absolutely not.
Of course, we saw he had a bit of a drama last week as well, while running in P3. Span out the final corner and hit the wall, and that compromised his race. So once again, having been on for set his first podium in FTRL, again it was just snatched away from him. So unfortunately for him, he's now going to be having it all to do from the back of the grid. So also back with us then, who was with us for a little bit of season 15, it is Matt Tibos back in the Williams, partnering Sway. And this boy is a very quick man, so how's he going to get on here? He sets himself with a 24.6, so drops into P3. So nice look like he's gone 1,000 per second faster than Link. So those two very, very closely matched after their opening runs. Go on board with Wesker then, as he comes round out of Copse and into this beautiful section of corners, Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. World famous series of corners. Drivers absolutely adore it. Onto the Hangar Straight.
Purple sector.
Indeed, of course, Silverstone a Formula RAF base. That's the name of the Hangar Straight. Max has been doing some research, haven't you, Max? So you're going to drop in some facts about Silverstone as we go through the qualifying and the race tonight. Do you want to drop your first fact of Silverstone in for us?
Name a corner.
Well, let's go for the one we were just talking about before we came on, Abbey, which is the first corner.
Abbey is the first corner of the modern F1 layout, and is also named one of the two names after the 12th century priory Luffield Abbey, remains of which were discovered just northeast of the circuit. Older version of the circuit also feature a corner named Priory.
There we go then. So Max Def's first fact of the evening. For you then. So everybody, some people have gone. So we've had 11 drivers set a lap time so far, and Tico is sat on provisional pole. Wesker now in P2 on a 24.4 flat. Funky Chicken in third with Matt Tibos fourth. Lynx fifth. Adamako, of course, who won the opening round in P6 ahead of Yanni in the second Ferrari. Scuba, who's having some controller issues, which might affect how his race goes. He's currently down in P8. Of course, he dominated the final race of season 14 here at Silverstone, won by about 20 seconds. So whether or not he can repeat that feat tonight with a dodgy controller, we shall see. Sway in P9 on a 25.1, but on the medium tyre. And then you've got Chubbs in P10 and Uncle Ben's Rice in P11. Dutch Tricks is out on a lap, so let's go have a look at Dutch Tricks. I'd imagine he's going to slot himself somewhere in the front end of the grid onto the Wellington Straight.
Let's see where the Burpel sector 1.
Dutch Tricks then flying through the first sector. Out of Luffield then, past the old pit straight.
Gonna come to Cups, then Maggots. Here we go on to Cups.
That's Cups corner. That's where CR7 he crashed on the inside. It's very easy there. If you run a little bit wide down the curb, it can spit the back out. And I think CR7 found the inside wall.
Chapeau. Yeah.
Got Dave Whiting in the chat. Good evening, everybody. He's here on a reconnaissance mission of getting some strategy for tomorrow. Well, this is definitely the place to pick up the strategy. So yeah, keep an eye out. This is the perk of being commentary on Div 1, is that I can pick the strategy up for Div 2 tomorrow. So always helpful. Here comes Dutch Tricks then. One corner to go. That's club corner, and he goes P2 on a 24.2.
261. Yep.
Quick look there. We got Mattman in the chat. He was pessimistic about the chances of having a dry race tomorrow. Even Casey in the chat as well, Oscar in the chat as well. Everybody here picking up tips for later on.
All the you guys. Come on, boys.
I want to find somebody who is... We've got one of the Ferraris coming around, so I want to do an on-board lap with somebody who's just coming around. It is Funky Chicken. So we'll go on board with Funky Chicken. And let's go on board with the lap of Silverstone and set out Club Crew. And he comes down the brand new pit straight into Abbey, which of course Max touched on earlier. Flings it in through there.
Hello, Casey.
Into Farm Corner. Good overtaking opportunity. Flings it left into Village. Shift to third. On the power then, and onto the Wellington Straight. Of course, this is the first DRS zone, which then brings you into Brooklands, just in front of the BRDC building on the right hand side there. Through there nicely and into Luffield.
Just up a little bit.
Driving then through the final corner. Well, it used to be the final corner, past the old pit straight, into Cops Corner. Flat through there. Yep, that's
very good.
Flat. Your Chris and just popped himself up to P5. Good laps there and into Maggots and Beck as we go. Just drops down a gear, drops down another gear again, just settle the car a little bit wide on the exit there. But he's still up on his time. Still up. He needs to find a little bit more in the final sector then to overhaul Wesker into what corner is that? Stoke. This is Vale.
A little bit there, but it's still okay. Looking good.
Drives out of the final corner, which is Club, and he goes. He lost a little bit of time in that final sector then, so
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Looked like he lost it at Vale. Funkychicken.com stays in P4 for now then. So we've got 15 laps on the board. Callboy and Lennon on their way out, so they are the last two to set a flying lap time.
As it stands, Lennon going to be able to do it.
He's learning a bit. Well, he got the fastest lap last time. Of course, he had a couple of incidents last time out, Lennon, so it didn't quite go his way. But Suzuki knows very well. Oh, and stays out of the wall. But
Lennon, keep the donuts for later, please.
Oh, and he's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane.
No.
So
oh my God! There
Lennon
you go.
having
Wait for Lennon in the chat.
Well, that's interesting because he was not. He was off the track. I don't know why he's done that. He was not on the pit exit. So
exactly.
that's very weird and very unfortunate. Once again, this game is a little bit broken. So sorry, Lennon. He definitely did not deserve that. Dear, then so meanwhile, Sway has slotted into P3 then in the Williams, so he's liking him the track right here. Scuba has improved to 24.4, so he's up to P6. Lennon finding new and inventive ways to get himself in trouble on F1 2020. Oh, dear me. He wasn't even. He wasn't even on the track. Like, how could you be blocking the pit lane in the runoff area? I'm very confused by that, if I'm honest. So on board with Corboy then, who's back with us this week. He enjoys Silverstone, so he fancied coming back in, filling in for what was his teammate. His new teammate, currently a couple of positions ahead of him.
We got Mapman actually dropping a little info also. If is a very long word in Formula 1. In fact, if is F1 spelled backwards, smiley face.
He's the stat man.
Funky chicken!
So here comes Corboy then. Just a couple of corners left to go.
FunkyChicken.com.
Around the final corner, and Corboy sets a very handy 24.5. Up to P8 he goes then. So Corboy, quality lap from him. And let's go have a look then. The front two, or a provisional front row, currently out on track. Dutch a little bit further along, so let's have a look.
Academy looks dry. Hopefully it doesn't mean it's raining tomorrow. Academy it's always raining in Div 2.
So Dan Morris there with an interesting stat there. He reckons he thought the times would be in the 23s, and are we expecting a wet race? Well, we shall see. We shall see. Of course, it's only the first, and Dutch has invalidated, so he's not going to be improving. What about Tico? He's a little bit further behind him on track. Still holds provisional pole. But it is very closely matched, and half a second cover your top 12. At the moment,
That's
very close.
Impressive.
That's very close indeed. 6/10 cover the top 13. A bit of a gap back then to Tom in the Renault. He's not quite found the pace yet. He said you were saying earlier he doesn't really enjoy this track on this game. So Tika then coming up to the end of sector 2. How's his time? He's backed out of this one. He's well down. Here we got on a flying lap. Then we've got Matt Tibos on a flying lap.
FunkyChicken.com.
So the only row that is definitely assured is CR7 and Lennon, who are starting on the back row together, unfortunately. Tibos then finds 12 thousandths in that first sector, so he's up on his first time. That was lovely. See that nice sweeping then. So, do you have any facts for us about Copse Corner, Max?
Give me a second. Copse Corner.
Matt flies through there. Does he get around okay? He does indeed.
I'll just let him concentrate quickly, Matt Tibos, before I crap out my bullshit. And here we go. So Copse, in the old layout, Copse was the first corner drivers would approach. Now one of the fastest corners in the second sector of the lap. Its name pays tribute to the rolling woodland in which Silverstone is set.
There we are then. So there's your fact about Copse Corner. So then, looked like Matt Tibos had just missed his braking point for Beckett's, locked a wheel, and he backed out of his lap then. So we're on board with Uncle Ben's Rice as he comes out of Luffield.
Only 26 thousandths up. Can he find some time here?
Still got half a lap to go, so plenty of time to be found as he enters this tricky
100%.
Beckett's section of the lap.
Looking very good.
That's where he saw the lock up from Matt Tibos. He gets through there nicely though. And has he found some time? He is now. He found a quarter of a second.
That's very good. See?
So should put him in and around Tom and Graham if he can find any more time in the final sector. A couple of corners to go then. Into Vale. Around then the newly profile. A little bit wide there through club.
That's good.
But he improves, he jumps the two Renaults, so he found a half a second in that final sector then. So despite that little moment, or it looked like a little moment anyway, jumps up to P14. But still a bit of a gap, about half a second to the car ahead is Chubbs in 13th, and there's about half a second covering Tico and Chubbs, so the two AlphaTauris sandwiching just 0.6 of a second between Tico and Chubbs, and 13 places. So despite the
Funky Chicken on the lap here. funkychicken.com 44.
So yeah, we're into the last two. Oh, Uncle Ben's Rice has a big drop. Oh, Evil Chris has retired. What's happened to Evil Chris? Has he gone off? Or is he retired in the pit? I think he's retired in the pit lane, actually. So he has retired in the pits. And everybody then heading out for their final runs, and it looks like Tom Duval has been off somewhere. So this lap is not likely to be an improvement. He's at P15. Is he going to go again? I don't think he's got the fuel, so that's Tom's session's over. Funky Chicken also retires, so he is done. Currently sat provisional P5. Just 3 thousandths up on Scuba and his wounded controller. Is anybody on a run? Not in a minute then, everybody's on their outlaps. Who's coming around first? It looks as if it might be his teammate actually, Funky Chicken's teammate. It is Yarne in the Ferrari. So we'll go on board with him then first. Let's see how he gets on then. Look at all the cars then coming around. So he's got plenty of clear track in front of him, which is exactly what he needs. There's a little bit of a traffic jam further back though. Everybody's squabbling for some room. It comes around then the new section onto the Wellington Straight. It's down towards Brooklands. We'll get our first checkpoint, and he is just under 1/10 of a second up. So that could jump him all the way up, potentially up to P8, if he can maintain that sort of advantage. I don't worry, Uncle Ben's Rice is getting plenty of attention, Casey, don't worry. At your Brown Cup's corner then comes Yarne. Into Maggots and Beckett's. And around Chapel. Coming up to the second split point now. He is over 1/10 up now, so this could be a fairly sizable leap now. He could be troubling Adamako and Scuba with this lap.
Dutch also up on his time.
Yeah, if you want to keep an eye on the guys coming through behind, Dutch and Tico. Stay on board with Yarne. Just 2 corners to go, so we could see a big shuffle in the order now. Of course, the track is going to be at its premium. It's all rubbered in now. So Yarne goes P7. Coming around, we've got one of the Williams. It is his Sway, who's currently P3. Oh, he's invalidated his lap though, so no improvement for him. Tico improves 23.8, so he's found some speed in the final sector. We've gone board with Dutch then. Wesker coming around, Wesker goes third. Lynx does not improve on P12. We've got one of the Hazes coming around. Is it Adamako? It is. Adamako currently P8. He goes third. Great lap from him. Here comes Dutch.
No, not enough. But he improves his time.
He improves marginally, but it is not enough, as you mentioned. And that is everybody then. So Tico takes his second pole in a row. Ahead of Dutch Tricks. Adamako, brilliant third then. Great qualifying effort from... Oh, why is Dutch Tricks in third?
Janne Stenroos hoping to drop to P11.
What happened there? Oh, Matt Tibos, out of nowhere, has snatched the front row. Did not see that coming through. So Matt Tibos jumps onto the front row, then dispossesses Dutch Tricks. So Tico then will start on pole alongside Matt Tibos with Dutch Tricks in third. Adamako, brilliant fourth. Wesker and Sway are on the third row, fifth and sixth, with Funky Chicken and Scuba on row 4. Then Yarne and Cowboy rounding out the top 10. They are all starting on the soft tyre. Then those outside with the free tyre choice, Evil Chris in 11th, with Lynx in 12th, Chubbs in 13th, Graham 14th, Uncle Ben's Rice 15th, Tom Duval 16th, and then the two cars, one who crashed out, which is CR7, and Lennon, who managed to get himself disqualified somehow, is starting P18. Now, is Dan's take on he expected a wet race true? We're about to find out, so we will do in a second.
FunkyChicken.com.
Academy's there showing some support. So we've got some grey skies, but not raining. Not raining yet, shall we say. So, interesting.
It looks like drops.
I can't see anything. It's grey skies, but no rain that I can see. Not yet, anyway.
You never know.
You never know. Right then, so
Lee, give me some predictions for tonight.
Right. I think Dutch will win. I think Tico will be second, and I think that Matt Tibos will be third. I think he's due a good result. He's threatened it a couple of times. He's had some brilliant qualifyings again.
Yeah, exactly.
Front row start here, so he's definitely in the mix. But yeah, everybody on the dry tyres. Start the race.
Chat can always put their prediction on.
Yep, so that's
Top three.
tell us what you fancy, boys. Who do you think's going to win this one? Let's have a look at what ties everybody on then. So, Tico then on pole position for the second week in a row. Extends his championship lead with that bonus point. Matt Tibos back in FTRL and back on the front row of the grid. Excellent qualifying for him. What can he do? Dutch Tricks then starting P3. I thought he had a second position lockout, but no, you get dispossessed right at the very end there by Matt Tibos coming around behind him. Adamako then, a brilliant qualifying for our round one winner. He's been working hard on improving his one lap pace, and I think that showed. Starting on row 2, Wesker then, who's had a disappointing couple of races so far. I think he said himself he was disappointed with his performance at Vietnam in round 1. Went a little bit better last time in Austria, but he'll be hoping to go well from P5. He shares the third row with Sway, who had a great drive in Vietnam. Of course, the two-stop strategy didn't quite pay off for him, but still a good race. Now there comes the predicted pit stop strategy, saying the one stopper, soft to medium or soft to hard, both can work. Which one they will go for, we shall see. Funky Chicken, who was a debutant last week, great result for him, P6. He starts P7 this time. Once again, very much in the mix in the Ferrari with Scuba, the reigning champ, down in P8 with his broken controller. Hopefully it will see him through the race. I've got his eulogy ready though, in case he does die. Got some very nice words. And maybe some slacking off for Man United. Yarley in the Ferrari, then both Ferraris in the top 10. He starts P9. Unfortunately missed the race last week because he couldn't get in. The game was being a bit of a turd to him. And he lines up on the 5th row alongside Callboy, who's back this week. He rounds off the top 10 then. Of the guys with the free tyre choice, Eva Chris in P11, who got that puncture late on last week that dropped him down the order. He starts on the medium tyre. Astor's Lynx in P12. And Chubbs in 13th. Then we've got Graham and Uncle Ben's Rice, 14th and 15th. They're both going aggressive at the start. They're starting on the soft tyres. Tom Duval, CR7 and Lennon round off the grid, all starting on the mediums. So we've got 6 guys running long. They're going to be very quick at the end, so watch out for them. And we await for the lights.
Let's
go up.
2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, engine on, and here we go, lights out.
Here we go. It's a good start from Adamako. Pops into the middle. Has he got a jump on Dutch? Not quite. Does everybody get around the first corner okay? It can be tricky. Somebody's out wide. I think it was possibly Evil Chris. Everybody seems to have got through the first couple of corners okay. Let's look in the pack as we come through. Oh, it's 3 wide in the pack there. That's brave. Everybody seems to have got around okay into the back straight. Yeah, we're all good. Well done, everybody. So big movers then. Sway's down 5. Sway's had an appalling start. Oh, that might be the game actually. Let's just let it settle down. No, it does look like he's down 4. So not a great start from Sway. But as they come through past the old pits for the first time, it is Tico in the lead. Back Tibos right on his tail, and Dutch in a little bit of the gap. Then you've got Adamako, Wesker and Scuba nose to tail as they round Cops for the first time. Funky Chicken, Yarny. Oh, big moment there from Yarny as it comes through Cops. Loses the position to Sway, and he's got Callboy on the attack behind him. They're trying to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett. That's brave Callboy. And that's opened himself up to Lynx. Oh, he's wide, and Lynx is off. Off goes Callboy. Lynx has been slowed as well. He's hit one of the...
Still driving.
Yeah, he hit one of the marker boards, I think. Yeah, a bit of a weed there. I don't think he's very happy with that. Oh, he's got some wing damage as well. But yeah, so Lynx has picked up some wing damage there, so not ideal. Does Corway pick up some wing damage as well? Yeah, they both do. So into the pits they both come. Destroys the marker board just for good measure.
Lynx picks up a 5-second
penalty. Oh, Lynx's head has gone.
In the pit.
Yeah, Lynx's head has gone already, unfortunately. Tico, you lead it. Matt Tibos right on his back. Though.
Dutch tricks. But that must be.
Yeah, the game's just having a bit of a moment. It's doing its usual thing. It'll sort itself out in a second. I hope. Yeah, here we go. We're just having a bit of a drama now. Right. Sort yourself out. Timing board. There we go. Right. So Tico still leads then. Got Matt Tibos right behind him. Dutch right behind him. Adamako is also closing in now. Then he's managed to shake off the advances of Scuba, who's got ahead of Wesker. Got a little bit of a gap. Wesker's now got trouble from behind from Funky Chicken and the recovering Sway. And the gap back to Yarny, who had that big moment here last time round. Oh, Wesker's already picked up a penalty. We're on lap 2 and he's picked up a penalty already. So Wesker violating track limits on a regular basis already. Picks up a penalty. Evil Chris then into the top 10. And then you've got Graham in 11th. He's had a good start. Chubb's down in 12th. Tom DeVal up to 13th. Lennon up to 14th. Uncle Ben's Rice where he started. That's CR7 in 16th. And then the two drivers unfortunately have not had the best starts. Lynx and Corby just tangled then coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Both pitted. They're now both out on the hard tyre. Right, on to lap 3. DRS is enabled and Scuba, despite having a dodgy controller, sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Possibly Uncle Ben's Rice, I think, might have had a moment out of club. He's dropped to the back behind CR7. So I'm looking there then, as Tico starts to open up a little bit of advantage. And Dutch is now starting to put the magnets onto Matt Tibos. And Scuba also all over the back of Adamako. However, everybody in a DRS straight. Oh, Matt Tibos is wide through Brooklands. Dutch is thinking about a move. He's trying to sweep around the outside. Can he cut back? Not quite close enough. Wesker now coming under pressure as well, so he's just dropping off the back of Funky Chicken. In fact, he's also out of DRS range, which will hamper his defensive efforts. So he'll be trying his hardest to get back on terms before the DRS zone. Matt Tibos, they're taking a slightly wide sweeping line into Maggots. Just offers Dutch a glimmer of hope. However, both of them in the DRS range. And we've got a yellow flag and out goes Lennon. He has crashed through Maggots and Beckett, unfortunately, and Lennon is our first retirement.
Oh, Lennon.
So Lennon not having the best. A safety car.
Safety car.
Now this definitely helps Lynx and Corboy. I think it's probably too early for anybody to fancy a pit stop. Now does anybody... Oh, I say that. Wesker, Sway and Yarny are in. So is Graham. So they are going to go onto the hard tyre, I would imagine, and going to try and go to the end. Funky Chicken in as well. Now both Ferraris are in, so he's going to have to stack, but he won't lose out too much because, of course, they are under safety car conditions.
Then it is upside down.
Well, you've had a very eventful 3 laps of the of the track you've done, Lennon. I'll give you that. So far, you've got round the 1/4 of flying lap and got disqualified, and then you're on lap 3 of the race, and they're upside down. So anybody who wants to top that, be our guest. Be our guest.
Let's do it tomorrow. Let's keep that for tomorrow.
Don't worry, Matt, man. I'll do it on the restart. I'll do it on the restart then. So, under the safety car then, on lap 4. Tico is your leader. From pole position, Matt Tibos, Dutch, Adamako as you were. Scuba up to P5. Evil Chris now P6 on those medium tyres. He's had a very, very good start. Chubbs to 7th. Tom DeVal is now P8. And CR7 from the very back row up to P9. Uncle Ben's Rice, and we had a little bit of a drama. He is P10. Then the guys who stopped, Wesker, who just pitted on the safety car, is now 11th, with Sway, who's gone to the mediums, interestingly. Now, are they going to get to the end? Is the question. That's a long way to go on the medium tyres. Well, he's not the only one, because Graham and Funky Chicken have also gone onto the mediums. Lynx is also pitting again to go onto the mediums. So, they think they can get all the way to the end on those tyres. It's an interesting strategy then. Well, of course, we've seen a couple of drivers suffer with penalties, punches. Namely Evil Chris last week, who got a puncher on the final lap. Corboy's picked up. Oh, Corboy's got a blooming... Oh, Corboy's got off. Corboy's gone off at the same place as Lennon has. He's gone off at the entrance to through Maggots as well, so Corboy's race has come to an end. Into the pits comes Matt Tibos, Adamako. They're in. So more drivers choosing to pit. Kiko, Dutch, Adamako. No, so Adamako's still out. Who is in the pits? It's Matt Tibos and Scuba have pitted. However, they are losing out because Wesker, Sway, Yarne, Graham and Funky Chicken have all got ahead of them by pitting last time around. Now this...
asking the safety car to go faster.
Doing his best Lewis Hamilton impression.
Yep. FunkyChicken.com.
So then now it presents an interesting dilemma. Now the guys on the medium tyres, so looking at Evil Chris Chubbs, Tom Naval and CR7, it's probably too early for them to stop. However, they too could have gone onto the hard tyres. So this is now really looking at Tico, Dutch, Adamako. 3 guys on the soft tyres. They are obviously now, they're going to be pitting earlier. So I think the game said about lap 10, was it? Obviously that might now extend slightly with the safety car period. But obviously now the guys who've pitted are directly behind them, or just a couple of seconds behind them. So and it's quite a long pit lane here as well. So the time lost here is probably a lot longer than at some of the circuits. So they're going to have a lot of work to do. Try and get back on terms with sort of Wesker, Sway. Obviously Matt Tibos and Skewer have lost out a little bit there because they're on the mediums though. So it seems a number of drivers have gone onto the mediums. They think they can get to the end even from this far out. So it looks like we're going to have another lap under safety car then, with Lynx just catching up to the back of the pack. He is there now. So yeah, we'll probably get one more lap under the safety car. Oh no, safety car in this lap then. So here we go then. So Tico will take over, leading the field. Seemed to be a bit of a late call there. I think just because Lynx just caught the pack. Safety car.
Go for Madman.
Yep, it's coming, it's coming.
Coming Madman.
Here he comes then around the club. When does he pull the trigger?
Go!
And it's go, and Tico has bolted. And look at that. Through the section they go. Unfortunately, there's no cars teammated together, so there's a line I want to do, which I think you posted earlier on. So as soon as I get a couple of teammates together, I'm on it. Wesker then disposes Sway, or Sway and Wesker battling for over P9. They come onto the Wellington straight. Sway then trying to get the move done on Wesker. He's right in the slipstream. Overtake on down the inside into Brooklands. Wesker sweeps around the outside. Oh, that's a bit of a wobble. Sway then on the medium tyres. He's got more grip at this stage. He'll need to use it if he wants to get the jump on Wesker. Now is the time to do it. So they come then towards Cops. He's had a good run again, but he's not looking at the inside of the Cops. It's a very tricky place to make a pass. He will wait for his opportunity then. Yep, Daft Chip there. I reckon the guy should be good to the end of the race in the background there. Who is that? CR7 on the back of Tom Duval. They come up the hanger straight in the background. Wesker down the inside of Uncle Ben's. Rice sweeps around the outside. Oh, contact Sway! Sway spins in the middle of the track. Cars split to avoid him. Oh, and Sway's big chance has gone. That spin. Oh, dear me. Not quite sure what happened there, because he wasn't attacking. He was just tucked in behind Wesker, who had looked up the inside of Uncle Ben's Rice. And spins in the background. Here's Yarne on Wesker. Wesker going around the outside. I think that's a move, actually. No. Yeah, so Wesker's been slightly delayed.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Yarne on the attack. So these two have just pitted. Yarne now right under the rear wing. Getting a good run down the Wellington straight. Is he going to look up the inside into Brooklands? He is. Wesker again now holds on round the outside. And now here comes Graham into the mix as well. Some great action going on here. Wesker then having gone from attacking now on the defence, but he seems to have just opened that gap up a little bit again now, and now it's Graham attacking Yarne. Looks at the inside of the Cops, but doesn't make the move. Oh, Uncle Ben's Rice picks up a penalty. They just ran out wide out of Cops. Oh, and Yarley's had a great run out of Cops. He's down the inside of Wesker. Oh, what a move. Yarne catches Wesker napping. I think he might have had a little bit of a slide through Cops' corner, and Yarne just got a stunning run and slams up the inside into Maggots, and position done. Matt Tibos goes past Graham, and Scuba following him through. Is Scuba going to have a look at the inside into Stowe? Not quite close enough. Graham getting mugged in a straight line there. A little bit of a lock up there. The driver starting the second lap after the safety car. The DRS is enabled again now. But Scuba looking very racy here. Oh, and Chubbs is now added to the penalty count. The guy currently in P5.
Matt Debo's defending well. There we go. No, Scuba.
Oh, Scuba thinking about it. There's a door. The door's open slightly.
Still there.
Both these guys on the medium. Scuba trying to go around the long way. Matt Tibbers is going to have to compromise his line here because Scuba's around the outside. Sweeps around the outside into one straight. What a move from Scuba.
What a move.
And allow the momentum down the straight as well with the DRS. Graham's trying to buy back into this as well. Great battling of the pack here. And they're now latched onto the back of Wesker, who's just struggling on those hard tyres at the moment. He's lost out to Yarne again, as we saw. Scuba's had a great run. Look at that, down the inside through Woodcut. And Scuba up to P10. Look at the front then, the two Dutch boys are trying to race away. They know they've got their work cut out with that safety car, having not pitted. He's to a nose to tail. Adamaka 1.2 back, he's in P3. He's got Evil Chris right on the back of him. And a bit of a gap back to Chubbs, who's got CR7 behind him. Then Tom Deval, Uncle Ben's Rice, and the guys who haven't pitted so far. So top 8 started on the tyres they are still running on. Then you've got Yarne in P9. He is the first of the guys who stopped, so he's in a very strong position at this stage. However, he's now got Scuba and is a wounded controller closing in very rapidly. Yarne on the hards, Scuba on the mediums. Not so bad for Sway as well. He was in with a really good shout of this one. And that spin, which is very unusual. That it didn't seem like he was offline or anything, but... Ooh, now what's going on up ahead there? Yarne's attacking Uncle Ben's Rice. That's slowed him through Village Corner. Scuba now right on the back, change up ahead, CR7 up to P5. Here we go. Are you ready, Matman? Evil Chris on screen in a car that's completely unique, apart from the car behind him, which is exactly the same. So Tico then is your race leader. 2.5 tenths ahead of Dutch Tricks, glued to his rear wing. We've seen these two do battle at the end of season 14. These two put on a hell of a show. As Dutch wrapped up his 4th FTRL Div 1 title, sending on each other into corners. However, they've got a very different proposition ahead of them this evening. They know they've got to put some time into the cars behind them, because you're looking at Yarne's Scuba. They have pitted already. And Yarne going past Uncle Ben's Rice into Stowe. Move done for Yarne. He's now P8. Into the pits has come Adamako, so he's getting off those soft tyres.
Little contact. No, nothing bad. Nothing bad. What's happening there?
Ooh, what are we looking at? Who are you looking at?
Uncle Ben,
oh, there we go.
Whoa.
Oh my god, it's 3 wide. Uncle Ben's Rice getting shuffled wide there by Scuba, who he goes through. Matt Tibos takes advantage, as does Lynx, as does Graham. Oh, Matt Tibos has picked up a penalty and all that, running a little bit wide there, I think. So it all kicks off at the final corner as they start lap 10. And look at Lynx now right on the back of Matt Tibos. He's now right in this mix as well, having... Lynx, of course, who had the off on the opening lap, is suddenly right back in contention. He's on the inside of Matt Tibos, not quite close enough though, drops back in again. Matt Tibos has got the slipstream off Scuba, who doesn't have any DRS at the moment, and he's got a bit of time to find on Yarne, who's now bolted and is setting off, trying to chase down Tom Deval. So Yarne is sat in a very strong position here because he is the first guy whose tyres can get to the end. He's pitted, he doesn't need to stop again. He's also on the hard tyre, which will be better at the end of the race. So Yarne in a very strong position here, but a long way to go. We're only on lap 10 of 26. Tom Deval with the penalty now as well. He's pushing. Oh, he's on the grass as well, coming out of Chapel onto the hanger straight. And that'll bring Yarne in closer. In the background, everybody's just about sorted themselves out again. Up front, Tico still leads. Dutch Tricks still in tow. We've got 1.7 seconds back to Evo Chris and CR7 in P4. And you've got Chubbs in P5. Tom Duval P6. The top 6 then yet to make a pit stop. Uncle Ben's Rice is in. I think his tyres have died. I think he just had a bit of a slide there coming out of club corner, and then he had 4 or 5 cars up the inside out of the final corner.
Yeah.
And the field, these group as close as they were, opened the floodgates, and he just got shuffled backwards. Yanni then
right
has
on the back of Tommy D.
Yeah, so Yanni now right there. However, Scuba has closed in as well. So having been out of DRS range, Scuba is now back in DRS range. So Yanni is now going to have to be watching in his mirrors again as well. Scuba's had a great run. Yellow flag sector 1. That's Uncle Ben's Rice coming out of the pits. So I'm not quite sure why we're getting yellow flag for that. Scuba looking very racy at this stage then. He's now right to the back of Yanni. And quickly this race is just ebbing and flowing one driver to another. Now when do the front 2 come in? This is about the time the game suggested those tyres would be able to look at the run Yanni's had on Tom Duval with the DRS down the inside into Stowe and up into P6 he goes. Can Scuba follow through? Not immediately. In comes Dutch Tricks. So P2 is in. Now just to give you an idea, Adamako is currently P15 now. He was the car directly behind Dutch Tricks. And he is 14 seconds off the back of this.
Yeah.
He's gone onto the mediums and look at this train as they come through. Abbey down into lock up there from Yanni. Is Adamako going to get the jump on Dutch? Dutch is coming down pit lane. Adamako out the final corner. Has Adamako got the undercut? I'm about to find out. Dutch Tricks then coming back onto track now. Where is Adamako? Comes around turn 1. Dutch has just got out ahead of him. Adamako then is going to be right on the back of him. Can he get any DRS? That would help his cause immensely if he can. Very impressed with Adamako so far this season. Got a little bit unlucky last week when he got held in his pit box, which dropped him off the back of the train. He didn't get the result that he maybe could have. But he is threatening a strong result again tonight. That leaves Tico out front on his own. He is your race leader.
You're receiving every 3-second penalty, unfortunately.
Yep, CR7 there with the penalty as well then. Back of Tom Duval, he's on the back of Yanni. He's run wide again, they're out of Chapel, and that's going to give Scuba a run. And Scuba, like a breath of a drain pipe, is down the inside. In the background, Lynx, Graham and Funky Chicken jostling for position. In comes your race leader, then Tico is in. Now, where does he come out relative to Dutch? Now, Dutch is 12 seconds off the back of Sway. However, he's on 7 lap fresher tyres, and we're at half race distance, and so this one has got a lot to play out. Looking very racy is Matt Tibos, who's down the inside of Tom Duval into Abbey. Move done. He's up to P6.
Beautiful.
Setting off, chasing after Scuba again, who's now caught back onto the back of Yanni, having cleared Tom Duval. So this race is playing out very, very interesting. Adamako with the fastest lap of the race. Oh, look at the run Scuba's had onto the Wellington Straight. He's down the inside of Yanni. And into Brooklands. Moved on.
Thank you, come again.
So Scuba now is your net race leader. And now let's have a little look at the intervals. And Scuba is quick bit of math, about 18 seconds ahead of Dutch Tricks, who has come out ahead of Tico. Tico has slotted into the gap between Adamako and Dutch, so that's how he's got that absolutely perfectly. However, Dutch has now jumped him, so that could be key. But what can the two Dutch boys do? They're currently 13th and 14th. We've got the top 3 yet to stop. Oh, penalties coming in thick and fast now. Sway has picked up one as he tries to catch back onto the back of Wesker, who's just dropping like a stone. Of course, he was running P9 when we started racing again after the safety car. He's now down to P11, so those hard tyres are not working out for him at the moment. Matt Tibos is now looking at the back of Yanni as they come through Abbey to start lap 14. So we've got a Alfa Romeo 1-2 currently. Evil Chris is your race leader. He has not yet stopped though, as his teammate CR7, who started 17th, running P2. Dutch Tricks then with the fastest lap of the race.
On the medium.
He is flying fuel, of course, coming down now. So the car getting lighter, it will get faster. Chubbs now has got Scuba closing in rapidly. So Scuba looking to take away that podium place from Chubbs. What's going on behind? Jarne just managing to hold off Matt Tibos for now. Tom Duval still persevering on those medium tyres he started with. He's still in this train. He's got himself settled in again now. He's not under attack immediately from Lynx, who runs P8. Graham tucked in P9. He's also potential for a strong result. Funky Chicken right on the back of him. And Wesker at the back of this train. Then you've got 3 seconds back to Sway in the Williams, trying to get back on terms after that spin.
Scuba make a move on Captain Chubbs. Very nice. Up to P3 sector. Yellow flag sector 2.
His Uncle Ben's Rice has gone off at Lentra 2 Luffield by the look of it. He's had a spin, but he's carried on.
Good man.
But look at this train now. So Scuba up to P3. He's got 6 seconds to try and close on the Alfa Romeo of CR7. But look at this nice little train that's going on here. You've got Scuba, Chubbs, Jarne, Matt Tibos, Tom Duval, Lynx, Graham, Funky Chicken and Wesker all in the line. So third all the way to 11th. Tico now with the fastest lap of the race. Dutch and Tico now are just starting to drop Adamaco. So Dutch and Tico still half a second apart. Adamaco's now 2.9 seconds off the back. So he's not been able to hang with their pace. Two Dutch boys are absolutely blistering pace so far. Fastest laps in consecutive order. One for Dutch, one for Tico.
Yep.
They are now up and running. Now what can they do? They've got 9 seconds to Sway ahead of them. We're on lap 15. We've got 11 laps to go.
Last chip in the chat, making me hungry keeping here into chicken. Sector 3 yellow flag. No, that's we have.
Uncle Ben's Rice unfortunately into the pits to retire. So not the debut he would have hoped for, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll go again.
With the chicken until the end.
In comes your race leader. Evil Chris is in. He gets off those tyres, but again he's another one who's not been helped by that safety car. That's definitely hindered his strategy. Chubbs. Oh, Chubbs has picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so he didn't get slowed down. He's in as well. So Scuba now up to P2. He's managed to put a bit of a break onto Jan. It's 1.3 seconds. He's still holding off Matt Tibos though. Tom Duval in as well. So all the guys who started down the medium tyres now coming in for softs. Now those 3 are going to be absolutely rapid. CR7 I imagine will be in this time around then. He's probably too close to his teammates to be able to have stacked.
Jan doing very well from where he started.
Certainly is. Up in P3, he's now managed to just settle in again. Matt Tibos is still very, very close to him. Very, very interested in taking away that P3. That will become P2 when CR7 finally pits.
Yeah. How's the tyre condition going to be with the mediums of Scuba compared to the youngest condition?
Well, that is the question. Yeah, is the question.
Towards the end.
I think we'll find out soon. So if Jarne can stay in touch, he will definitely come back to this. Also Wesker as well, of course, he's on the back of this train. He's not been dropped, so he's still very much in this. Sway is also caught by a second. So he's now only 2 seconds back, and Dutch Tricks is now a second closer to Sway as well, but still 8 seconds to make up. Only 10 laps to do it. So it's going to be difficult for Dutch and Tico to salvage a good result from this one. That is in comes your race leader.
In the pit.
So as expected then, he is the final pit stop of the race. E2 will go onto the soft tyre, so he will be very quick at the end then. So Evil Chris is a second behind Adamaco. Sway, that's just going past him in the pits, isn't it? So where does CR7 come back out? Here comes Dutch and Tico, who will be behind them. You imagine he'll drop in just behind his teammate. Yep. Here he comes out the pit lane. Through goes Evil Chris. And there he is in the background then. So he is out in P13, ahead of Chubbs, ahead of Tom Duval. So what can they now do in the final end? So that is all given Scuba the lead of the race then. So broken controller or not, Scuba and Silverstone just seem to go together hand in hand. Look at now Matt Tibos now starting to apply the pressure to Jarne. Stay round Cops, he is right on the back of him. I think a little bit wide though. Of course Matt Tibos does have a penalty. Oh, look how much faster Matt Tibos is than through Magnus and Beckett's as medium tyres still hanging on for the moment. Links in P4.
Matty was absolutely out of ERS.
Yeah, he's got no ARS. I did wonder why he wasn't closing as much as I thought he would do down the hang straight with the DRS, but
Jana kept it nicely going, didn't use it.
yeah, had a nice
Very
gap
nice.
there. Change for position. Tico goes past Dutch on the run up to Stowe. So Tico then up to P9. He now going to lead the charge after Sway, who was caught onto the back of Wesker. Now Wesker's dropped off the back of Funky Chicken, so Wesker's had a moment somewhere.
Funky Chicken.
Evil Chris on Adamako. Oh, contact. Adamako gets a penalty, and the two Alfa Romeos then, so he's retained the position there. So they're battling through Vale and Club, but now he's got both Alfa Romeos right behind him.
3 seconds for Matt Tibos, 3 seconds for Lynx, 6 seconds for Wesker.
Oh, again.
3. Yep.
And again, Evil Chris sending it absolutely everywhere on Adamako. These two are teammates. Oh, CR7 suddenly appears.
Oh.
The two Alfa Romeos are side by side down the Wellington Straight. CR7 is going to be boxed in here because his teammates alongside. They're going to go 3 wide into Brooklands. Oh, contact on the Alfa was touched to the round.
Teammates. Oh no.
Oh no. Drama as the Alfa Romeos collide. They're trying to go 3 wide into Brooklands. It was never going to work. It looked like Chris had backed out of it, but still had a little bit of an overlap, and they just touched and they just danced their way through Brooklands. And that has given Adamako 6 seconds of breathing room. So, unfortunately,
going at it again.
oh dear me, this is not over. This is not over indeed. Adamako and Evil Chris were teammates last season. They had some drama last season here at Silverstone as well. Here comes CR7 then with the DRS blast past. Gets it done this time. But dearie me, two Alfa Romeos tripping over each other, and that has dented their hopes of a stronger result at the end here. So a bit of work to do for them. Scuba has got that lead to 2.4 seconds. Yarne still hanging on to P2 though, despite having DRS. Matt Tibos has not been able to find a way through. He's not close enough either. In the background, however, Funky Chicken is starting to get a little bit interested in Graham, who's on for a very strong result here. He could leap onto the podium if he stays where he is. Sway still 2 seconds back, having just passed Wesker. Wesker's race has just not gone his way again. He was the first guy on who had pitted for fresh tyres. Oh, change for P2. Matt Tibos gets it done into Cops. So just missed that one unfortunately, but that's the move done for Matt Tibos. So now can he break away, or is he just going to pull Yarne along? Yarne doesn't currently have a penalty. So Yarne will jump if he doesn't need to make the move, Yarne. However, oh, Matt Tibos goes defensive down the inside, however. Ferrari gets the move done into Stowe. Matt Tibos trying to come back at him. Great battling here.
Come on, Yarne.
Great driving from these two. Yarne on the hard tyres, Matt Tibos on the mediums. They're getting close, probably to the point now where oh, look how close Matt Tibos is at the final corner.
He's going for it.
Got the slipstream, he's down the inside to Abbey. The move done. Yarne lets him have it. Sensibly done. Does he have a look into farm? Thinks better of it. And now this is getting Lynx closing in again now as well. Graham and Funky Chicken, all of these 5. Nose to tail. Sway continues to be 2 seconds back. CR7 with the fastest lap then, so CR7 is fired up. After that little drama, he gets the fastest lap of the race then. So Sway is still 2 seconds off the back of Funky Chicken. Wesker's now 2.3 behind him, and starting to fall into the clutches of Tico and Dutch, who are 9th and 10th. Two flying around. They are now just 4.6 seconds off the back of Wesker, who is just tumbling away. Unfortunately, Wesker is just not happy at the moment. Not getting the results. We definitely know he has speed. He's a very quick boy, but it's just not coming together for him at the moment. Adamako has got CR7 closing in on him. Tom Duval and Chubbs going side by side. Round Luffield. Tom Duval gets the move done. What a move from Tom Duval all the way around the outside. Chubbs gives him the room. Great driving from those two. Can Chubbs come back at him? Thinks better of it through Cop's corner. He'll try and get a run then onto the hanger straight.
With 11-second penalty so far.
Matt Tibble, yeah, unfortunately, that gets the legacy of moving over to wheel. He's not quite got it hooked up yet. So Matt Tibos has got the move back ahead for P2. And now just pulling Yarne around. So these 5 still. Side Chubbs has got the move done again though. Around the outside into Stowe. Down the hanger straight with the DRS. So these two just trading places. At the moment, Evil Chris then takes the picks up a penalty. He's closed in his teammates. So these two now pulling themselves back onto the tail of Adamako. CK now just 3.5 seconds off the back of Wesco, 3 seconds off the back of Sway. Sway's now just 1.5 off this battle that goes all the way to P2. So these 5 are about to become a 6. Here we go then. Chief has just pointed out that anything can happen in Grand Prix racing, and it usually does. Change again for position between Tom Duval and Chubbs. So Tom Duval again getting the move done out of Luffield. These two ding-dong battle going on. Alright, as Matt Tibos. He's just still got Yarne. Yarne seems happy to sit in at the moment. However, Lynx is now getting right on the back of him. Lynx also though has a penalty. And Sway has joined this train, so we've now got a 6-car train. As Matt Tibos trying to make a break. Lead for Scuba 4.4 seconds, so he is gone. So even if his tyres do drop off, you feel he's probably safe. As Matt Tibos on the same tyre, at the same age as well.
Curious to what the state of those tyres on the mediums are now.
Well, a lot of people moved on to them, so the only one who's really made the hard tyre work has been Yarne so far. Brilliant drive from him so far, and everybody around him is on the mediums. He's on the hard tyre and he's holding his own. So this is a brilliant drive from him.
Come on, Yarne.
Now we've got 2 Williams, we've got 2 Ferraris, a Racing Point and a Renault in this train. Meanwhile, your race leader, Red Bull, reigning champ, on course for his first win of the season. We're on lap 22 of 26. He's got 4 more laps to go, including what's going on in the background. Different lines down the hanger straight. Just looked like there's something more going on. Wesker now in a very lonely P8, however he might be getting some company soon. Dutch still just tucked in right behind Tico, but these guys, I think the best the real they're going to get at the moment is P8 and 9. If they can catch Wesker, they've got 3 laps to do with him. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Oh, Chubbs has retired. Where has he gone off? Virtual safety car. Virtual safety car then. So that will just nullify the race for the time being. Unfortunately, he too has gone off on the exit of Chapel by the look of it onto the hanger straight. So unfortunately, that battle with Tom Duval is over. So here we go then. Under a virtual safety car. So there will be no changes. Now Yarne has dropped a little bit back from Matt Tibos here. Now is that just the ebb in the flow? Yeah, Matt Tibos is having to slow now. So Yarne will want to try and stay in DRS range if he can. But this definitely helps the guys on the medium tyres, because they're not going to be putting load through those tyres, which are probably getting close to their past their best. And away we go. And it's go, go, go again. Tibos, Yarne links right on the back of Yarne then as they come through Magnus and Beckett's. Is he going to be close enough for a move? Matt Tibos, you can see they're pulling right over to the left of the track immediately there to not give the slipstream. Tico is on the back of Wesker. He's in slipstream range now. He's in DRS range. So Wesker, you feel his time is almost up. We're on to lap 24. Can he hold on? Let's find out. And so Scuba looking very comfortable at the moment then. He's on to his 24th lap. 3 laps to go, including the one that he's on. Matt Tibos still P2. Yarne still right behind him though. He will jump in with that penalty. Lynx is 4th. But again, he's going to lose out to the 2 cars directly behind him, Graham and Funky Chicken, who don't have penalties. Sway, they're drifting as he tries to get on terms with these boys. He's caught the train. Can he do anything? Yarne doesn't need to make the move, so Yarne can just stay there because the car ahead of him, the car behind him, both have penalties. He's not under a threat from those. They're not the guys he's racing. Change then for position for P8. Tika gets the move done on Wesker. Oh, Wesker comes in very hot there through Luffield. So Tika up to P8, but I fear that will be as far as he gets. Now can Dutch get the move done on Wesker? Wesker's going a bit wide there through Woodcut. Oh, he's wide through Cops as well. Don't think he's enjoying those hard tyres very much. Where is Dutch Tricks? Not close enough to capitalise yet. Tico's now making a little bit of a break. Around Maggots and Beckett. You can see Wesker's just struggling there for grip. He's understeering through Maggots and Beckett. He's had a poor run to the back straight, and Dutch Tricks is going to get this move done. Dutch just blasts past in a straight line with the DRS. He is up to P9 now, but the 5 seconds to go between Tico and Sway, I think that is as far as they're going to get. Scuba then onto his penultimate tour. Now interestingly, CR7 and Evil Chris have caught Adamaco, but have not been able to get past yet. So I don't know if they've just caught him. In fact, Evil Chris has dropped back a little bit then. He's back 2.7 seconds back, so just CR7 on the back of Adamaco. Wesker is trying to cling on to the two Dutch boys. Who are now doing everything they can, but I don't think they're going to have anything to catch Sway with. In fact, they might have something, but they're not going to have enough time to catch Sway. That safety car then has really hurt them. The decision not to pit has not worked out for them. So Sway's had a good run there. He's looking at Funky Chicken. Is he into Cops? No, not quite close enough. Yarne has caught back onto Matt Tirbos now. So are those medium tyres about done? Because Yarne is suddenly looking the more racy. Lynx, however, is still looking very good here. Of course, after the opening lap, you thought his race was over. However, he is stuck with it, and he is right in the mix here for a podium. Down the hanger straight then for the penultimate time. Matt Tibbos is going defensive into Stowe. Yarne wants the move done, has to go all the way around the outside, but waits. Just play the sensible game. He doesn't need to make the move. He can just sit there. Cross the line. Dutch Tricks for the penalty. That's a rarity. CR7 getting a move done on Malako finally.
Last lap, here we go, boys.
Oh, change for position. Dutch and Tico side by side out the final corner. Tico gets a drag down the straight. Dutch drops back in again. Of course, Tico doesn't need to worry about him because he's got a penalty. CR7 with the fastest lap as well, so CR7 is flying what might have been for him. Now then, what's going on in this train? Who's close? Funky Chicken is close to the back of Graham. If they've been waiting for a move, this is the time to do it. Matt Tibbos is going defensive. Yarne doesn't make the move. He doesn't need to make the move. He can just stay there. He knows that. He's just got to stay where he is. He will come home with a brilliant P2. Oh, Funky Chicken and Sway going at it. Sway looking at the Ferrari again coming through Luffield. Not close enough. CR7 picked up another penalty. Is anybody in this group going to be able to make a move? Going to the back straight. There is Scuba. He's going through Stowe. He's on his way to his first win. Here comes Yarne on Matt Tibbos. Round the outside with the DRS. Gets the move done on track. He'll get it on the penalties anyway. But he wants to put the exclamation mark on it. Great drive from him. However, out of the final corner comes your champ. He picks up his first win of season 16. Scuba wins the British Grand Prix. Yarne is going to come in with a brilliant second place.
Brilliant drive, yeah.
Great drive from him. Matt Tibbos finishes third. However, Graham is going to jump onto the podium. Funky Chicken comes home fourth. Matt Tibbos finishes fifth. Ahead of Lynx and Sway. Tico is going to come home P8 with Dutch Tricks in ninth. What could have been for those boys? Wesker rounds out the top 10. CR7 gets jumped by Adamaco on penalties at the line. So 11th for Adamaco, 12th for CR7. Evil Chris crosses the line, P13. And a very lonely race in the end for Tom Duval, who is the final finisher in 14th then. So what a race, what a battle that was. Some great drives in there. Graham gets driver of the day. Of course, he came from quite far down the grid, so a brilliant podium for him. Brilliant was. Once again, it just proves if you're a clean driver at the end of the race, it can really benefit you. But Scuba then, he's the one who drove brilliantly, pitted early, went onto the medium tyres, picked his way through the gaggle, and as the cars ahead of him pitted and peeled off, he just drove away from the battle behind him. Yarne, an absolutely brilliant drive from him, P2. and Graham a brilliant P3.
Well impressed.
So
Well
yeah,
impressed.
some great drives in there again. The Dutch and Tico then lost out horribly, then not pitting under the safety car. So
Lesson learned.
lesson learned. So there's the winner then. Scuba wins from P8 on the grid with Yarne P2 and Graham P3. Great drives for them. Then Funky Chicken a brilliant P4 in just his second race in FTRL, then just missing out on that podium there in the end. Matt Tibos losing out on a podium with that penalty. And Lynx P6 again. Another great drive from him from P12 with the 2 stops as well after that opening lap though. I think he'll be very happy with the P6. Sway is P7 after that spin. Again, what could have been for him? He could have been the one standing on top of the podium. But that spin just cost him, unfortunately. He ends up with P7. Tico recovering to P8 with Dutch in P9. Wesker just did not come out for him today. Unfortunately, those hard tyres just did not switch on. Only a P10 for him. Adamako P11, CR7 P12. After that contact with his teammate who finishes in 13th.
Yep.
He does take the fastest lap at least. And Tom Duval rounds out the finishers. The retirements then. Captain Chubbs fortunately lost the car coming out of Chapel. Uncle Ben's Rice, just not his day. I think he had a couple of dramas. Corboy unfortunately went off through Maggots and Beckett's, and Lennon also who crashed through the tricky Beckett's complex. Then there we go then. Some great races in there, Max.
Wow, this was beautiful racing. Good moves from everyone. Very impressed with Janne.
Yeah, well, I got my competitions completely wrong. Yeah, no, I got none on the podium. Technically, Matt Tibos would have finished on the podium if he'd not had that penalty. But yeah, that's I'm clutching at straws of that one. Unfortunately, did not see that one coming at all. So the racing once again throwing up all sorts. Anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does, and it did. It very much did then. So some
It definitely did.
great racing then. So even with a broken controller, nobody can stop the reigning champ. Outstanding drive from Scuba. And that sets up quite nicely for tomorrow with Div 2.
Probably gonna rain.
I think we just resigned ourselves to the fact that the Div 2 is just the rain lobby, isn't it? It's just the rain lobby now. So there we go then. So that is the end of the action for this evening. But of course we are back tomorrow at Silverstone for Div 2. So do join Switchback for that. And then on Thursday and Friday we are back with our GT Sport League. And this week it is time trial week again. So it's the Group 3 time trial week from Dragon Trail Seaside. So the drivers will be attacking 3 cars: the Toyota Supra, the Mercedes SLS AMG, and the Peugeot Vision VGT car. Trying to beat a set lap time. So no racing action this week. We're just racing the clock. But after the first week, there could be much frustration to be had. So let's see how everybody gets on. But yeah. So that is the end of action tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for your commentary, Max.
Oh, you're welcome as always. Thank you.
And we will see you again real soon. Thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't already, please do like the stream. That helps us out lots and lots and lots. Thank you, news. And yes, that is the end of us. So we will see you again real soon.